Hey, what's up, everybody? Chicago Gooner here, bringing another Arsenal talk. I'd just like to apologize right off the bat for not doing a Swansea City game, kind of like review. But I did have one done. I just didn't upload it. Something happened on that day, on that Sunday, kind of like a personal tragedy that just completely forgot about it. Just got completely out of my mind. But of course, here it is for the Manchester United game. There's not much to say. This is rock bottom right now. Uh, on the telecast, they said this is the worst start for Arsenal since 1982. Just put that into perspective. I mean, it's 32 years ago that we started this badly in the Premier League. Um, it's basically, need a new owner, need a new board, possibly even need a new manager because um, the way things are going. One thing I was going to say, and from at least my recording from the Swansea City game, is that I'm sick and tired of the playing players out of position. I'm just sick of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the shitty tactics that's going on this season. That's what it's basically down to, is shitty tactics and playing players out of position. That's been the motto of Arsenal Football Club this entire season so far. Another stat, which is fucking hilarious, is we have one win in each month of the season, which is, it's kind of ridiculous. Um, you know, Even after the Anderlecht game, even after the Swansea City game, you're still seeing Monreal at the center half position. When you have a center half playing at right back, who gives a shit if Monreal is left-footed? I've seen numerous other uh, players in the world uh, play a right back position or a left back position without you being able to use their dominant foot for crosses. All that Monreal has to do is really do a cut back in, and then use his left foot to cross it in. It's really, when it comes down, it's apples and oranges. It's so minimum uh, of a complaint that you can't use your dominant foot when you're crossing a ball because you're playing right back, because you're going down the right side. It's just a ridiculous excuse. It really is. When you have Cullum Chambers, who is a center half, who's going to be a center half, when he matures, I guess you can say. I mean, when he was playing center half in the beginning of the year, he was playing great. I mean, you could almost make a case that if Koscielny didn't get hurt, of why even bother playing Mertesacker? I mean, that's how good he was playing, I thought, in the beginning of the season, and like preseason, and then in the first about month or so of the season, until Mertesacker had to come back because Koscielny got hurt and for the Everton game. It's just the excuses that Arsene Wenger is making, and the tactics that he's using. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. And if you can't score against a back line like that, you're in deep shit. Honestly, uh, it's going to be a struggle. You can't even use the excuses of people are injured and all this other bullshit. You really can't, because Danny Welbeck, Alexis Sanchez. I mean, Jack Wilshere. I mean, come on. If you put a goal scorer one-on-one situation, 99% of the time he's going to bury that ball in the back of the net. I thought it was a lazy attempt, honestly. I mean, he was just. I just don't know what that was. In the first 20 minutes, it should have been 2 or 3-0 to us, and it just wasn't. De Gea was making some great saves, but at the same time, how do you score a goal? You don't shoot right at the keeper. Pretty simple, right? Or it sounds simple, at least in theory, but that's what they were doing. The entire game was shooting it right at De Gea, almost making it too easy for him. It was just ridiculous. Olivier Giroud comes back and he scores a goal late to make it 2-1, to give us some type of life. But even at that point, it was just like it was kind of like a shit show. You have the wrong tactics again. Of course, bad luck was on our side with the Kieran Gibbs own goal. But that's how our season is. That's how it's been going. Pretty simple of how it's been going the entire year. And nothing's changing. I mean, you're still seeing Arteta as a DM. You're still seeing that that 4-3-3 bullshit is back again, unfortunately. And of course, again, we don't score more than 2 goals playing in that shitty formation. Um, they were playing a back three basically the entire game with wing backs, and we couldn't do shit against 2 guys. What was it, Blackman and I forgot the other kid's name, maybe Wilson or something. Um, these are kids who came up from the reserves and basically like the youth academy, and we can't score against these fuckers. I mean, how much of a joke is that? Other teams can score at will. It seemed like against Manchester United sometimes in some of those games, and we can't do shit. Couldn't do shit because plus once they got that own goal, once they went 1-0 up, they went to a back five, and they just basically sat back and waited for them to be able to counterattack. And of course they were. That goal by Rooney was, I mean, that, of course, you put a goal scorer in that situation, he's going to score that 99% of the time, and he did. Of course, Angel Di Maria could have made it 3-0, and he pretty much fluffed that thing. But I mean, yeah, it was just, it's just, I think it's just time for someone to get into Arsenal who's going to spend the money because this is bad karma. It is. This is karma biting us right in the ass. You can go all the way back into May, not signing Cesc Fabregas, not re-signing Cesc Fabregas, not signing enough defenders, not having enough squad depth for the defenders, and having a left back playing a center half, playing a right back, or a center half that's playing right back. I mean, it's just I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these tactics. I'm tired of all the excuses and all the bullshit that Arsene Wenger is trying to throw by us, acting like we're the stupid ones, but we're seeing it right in front of us. Some of the same complaints that, I mean, for the first time probably ever, I'm really agreeing with the media of all the deficiencies that Arsenal has right now. We have enough players. We have enough attacking players to score goals and to be able to score goals, and they're just not doing it. Other than Alexis Sanchez, even Welbeck, maybe put him in an England shirt or something, and something different will happen to him that he can score some goals. He had a couple opportunities in the game that he couldn't connect with, but it all comes down to Arsene Wenger. It all comes down to the Arsenal board. It all comes down to right at the top. Stan Kroenke. Honestly, I don't think there is any ambition in the club whatsoever. I think it's just, let's just make as much, let's just be as profitable as possible. Let's make Champions League if we can, top 4, and then we'll just ride that out. And if we can get lucky with some silverware, so be it. Because, again, karma bit us right in the ass again. Because this was a must-win against Manchester United at home again. We're dog shit whether we're away from home or we're at home. Come the Dortmund game on Wednesday, we're going to get our asses kicked again. It's as simple as that. These players have zero confidence right now. None of them have been playing with real confidence at all. And Jack Wilshere fucking getting hurt, another injury on top of our long injury list. That's the only silverware that we're going to win this year is tops of the injury board again, tops of the injury table once again. I don't understand. Olivier Giroud can have a broken leg and he can be 3 or 4 months ahead of or 3 or 4 weeks ahead of schedule, and he gets right into the game and everything like that. And I don't know where it was Theo Walcott. I don't know if he's nursing some type of injury or if he's just giving him a rest. But a game like that was screaming for him with his pace to bring him in as well. But it was kind of Chesney getting hurt as well. That hurt are basically any type of substitutions. Obviously, if you have to bring in a backup goalkeeper into the game at any point in time, that's going to hurt your substitutions and hurt to be able to bring on more goal scorers. But even then, we couldn't do shit. I mean, we were going after they got that own goal and they went up 1-0. We were pressing to try to get that equalizer, and of course they caught us on the counterattack. I mean, that thing was wide open. I mean, there was like literally no one to even defend it. To be honest with you, I mean, everybody was pushed forward. Again, that's shitty tactics. That's the manager urging his players to just press as high as possible up the pitch. I mean, there was times where Per Mertesacker was almost at the 18-yard box, for Christ's sake, and it's just like, dude, what are you doing? You have no pace to get back if we're fucked. And of course, that's exactly what happened. Monreal was doing the same thing. Arteta was up there as well. Yeah, he helped out in the Giroud goal, but I mean, for Christ's sake, it's just ridiculous. It's getting absurd just to watch. Honestly, going into the game, I had zero confidence that we'd win. I don't know why. I just didn't have any confidence whatsoever. But that's the way it is right now. Players have no confidence. Fans have no confidence. When fans lose confidence, I mean, they're booing after the game, rightly so. The players deserve to get booed. Arsene Wenger deserved to get booed. Something needs to change. You know, I'm sick of hearing Ivan Gazidis, even Stan Kroenke, even Arsene Wenger saying, yeah, the ambition of the club is to win silverware, to win the league, and to challenge and champ. No, no, it's not, obviously, because you motherfuckers decided not to spend the money when it was there. You gave us some bullshit excuse that there was no one to buy in a month and a half, that you couldn't find anybody to buy at center half or even right back, or even at DM in a month and a half. It's just bullshit. I mean, it's more and more bullshit, and I think finally now, I mean, you're seeing you're seeing the fans that will defend Wenger to the last day, starting to turn now. I'm right there, honestly. I think it's just time to move on. I think there needs some new blood in there. Honestly, I don't want Steve Bold, obviously. If we can get Klopp from Dortmund, that would be fucking awesome. Even if we can steal like a Roberto Martinez away from Everton, possibly, because I like what he does as far as his attacking ability too, and some of the tactics. He doesn't have the greatest back line, somewhat. Distin is, he's like 50 years old, still playing. Jack Yelker is decent, but he's not, he's not world class. Coleman is good. He's probably one of the better right backs in the BPL. Baines, I mean, I think he's overrated. To be honest with you, he's a good attacking left back, but as far as defensive minded goes, he's not there tactically. And plus, he just doesn't have the pace or the strength to really hold off attackers all that well. But I mean, I'm just kind of sick of everything. We're gonna be hearing the same bullshit, after the game and during the week, and Champions League. I mean, this is gonna be a disastrous week for us. It was already a disaster with the Swansea City game in the last like 20 minutes. It was a disaster against Anderlecht in the last 30 minutes. I mean, it was just it's just one game after another. It gets to the point to where it's when's enough enough. You know, we need we need someone in there that's going to give us a lift. Someone's going to get up with the modern game. Who is, if they're showing 80 million, 90 million pounds to spend, that they're going to go out and spend it. That they're going to provide enough squad depth. Arsene Wenger, one of his Achilles heels is being too loyal to some of his teammates, or to some of his team, or his players, so to speak. Like Mikel Arteta. It seems like everybody's getting a new contract extension. How they're getting a new contract extension when they're fucking hurt is beyond me. Who makes these decisions? Even Theo Walcott's in talks of getting a new contract deal. He's been out for almost a fucking year, and he's getting a new contract already. Mikel Arteta got a new contract. I mean, how does he get paid? Honestly, how do you pay someone that old, who's that shitty, a new contract? I just do not get it. Diaby's supposed to be in talks for a new fucking contract. When have we seen him on the pitch? We haven't seen him for like fucking 5 years, for Christ's sake. And these players are getting new contracts. It seems like if you get injured at Arsenal, they'll give you a new contract. So it seems like that's the way to fucking go. And it just boggles my mind. Why do you keep on playing players that keep on getting injured? They're obviously, some of them are just fragile, but you keep on paying them. And even though they're fucking old and gray and they're way past their prime, like Arteta. I mean, he's like 4 or 5 years past his prime, but we're still gonna pay him, and he's gonna still be with the club, which is fucking ridiculous. And if Arsene Wenger's still with the club next summer, he's probably going to make some other damn excuse for why we're not going to buy another DM, and then he's going to keep on throwing fucking Arteta out there. Honestly, ask yourself this: how many teams would Mikel Arteta be playing for right now and starting in the BPL? Would he be starting for any of the top clubs? Doubt it. No way. There is no way. Even Matthew Flamini, would he be starting with any of the top clubs? No fucking way. Even with all the problems that Manchester United has, they wouldn't start for them either. But he's starting for us, both of them. That's how I look at things sometimes. Of certain players, would he start for Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool? Name any of the top clubs or any historical top clubs over the last like 20, 25 years, 30 years. Would they be starting for that club? No. But we have a manager who keeps on pushing players like that out there. When we have the money to go out and buy a world-class DM or a world-class center half, or even a middle-of-the-road center half, or a middle-of-the-road DM, because that would be better than Arteta. That would be better than a backup Nacho Monreal right now. It just keeps on getting worse. Uh, you know, Arsene Wenger keeps on digging himself into a bigger hole to the point to where he's not going to be able to get it. He's not going to be able to escape this. And unfortunately for us as Arsenal fans, Arsene Wenger is such a yes man now. Uh, in this in this in this part of his career, that Stan Kroenke, Ivan Zias, they're not going to fire him. They're not going to tell him to take a walk, because Arsene Wenger does exactly what they want him to do, which is fucking ridiculous. I mean, if you look at Stan Kroenke and Ivan Zias, they're not football people. They're businessmen. That's all. That's all they are. They're not football people. Arsene Wenger is a football people, but he's acting more like a businessman rather than a football man, which is fucking ridiculous. And this is the crap that we have to watch time after time after time, and watch a manager who has a resume better than just about anyone in the world, has one of the top resumes in the world, and his tactics are all fucked up. His player personnel is all fucked up. I just don't know what else to say. There is nothing else really to say other than that, unfortunately. And it's just going to keep on getting worse. We literally have to wait for everybody to come back from injury to maybe do some damage. But we should be able to do damage with the squad that's out there already. And some of it too, you can blame it on international break, and some guys are tired. Yeah, some guys are tired because he just doesn't want to fucking rotate the squad ever. Danny Welbeck's been playing at striker every single game since he's been transferred here. Alexis Sanchez has been playing almost every single game too. It's just this. The squad depth is there. You can rotate in and out guys, but they just don't want to do it because we've dug ourselves in such a fucking hole now that we have to continuously play our supposed quote unquote best players. And it's going to keep on getting worse, man. We can't beat a back line like that. That's fucking awful. That's the lowest of low right there. If we can't beat a back line that shitty in Manchester United at home, honestly, this is the low point so far of the entire season, to be honest with you. Their defense is worse than ours, supposedly, and we can't even scrape a goal. It's just awful. It really is. And, it starts right at the top. with Kroenke, Gazidis, the Arsenal board, Arsene Wenger. Yeah, this is all on you. This season is all on you guys. This is all on Gazidis and Dick Law and Wenger saying, let's stop spending money. We were fucking right there at the beginning of the season. That all we needed was a couple extra pieces. That's it. 2 more pieces at most, maybe. A center half and a DM. That's all we fucking needed. And now look at us. Now we're fucking, I think we're like 9th or 8th or 9th or something in the table now. And that's with, there's still games to be played for, tomorrow. I mean, we're 7 points off of the regulation zone. I mean, that's how sad it is right now. But, whatever. This is, seems like it's the new Arsenal way. Of course, we all thought, once the Emirates is paid off and everything, we're going to spend the money no matter what. We're going to bring in the players that's necessary to win. All bullshit. I'm tired of the excuses from this point forward. There's not an excuse that you can make to me anymore to defend Arsene Wenger or anybody else. That's just how it is with this loss, with these last 3 losses. I mean, last 2 losses and then the Anderlecht game. The Anderlecht game feels like a fucking loss, honestly. So I mean, in Dortmund, I mean, they're gonna come in. They know we don't have any confidence. They don't have any confidence either. But so for some reason, when they play in Champions League, they're just fucking, they're world beaters. To be honest with you, and it's probably gonna be another shit show. And of course, you're going to see players out of position like Nacho Monreal and Chambers and whoever else. You might as well just throw fucking, our goalkeeper that's in the youth academy and throw him up at striker, for Christ's sake. If this is how you're going to fucking do things over and over again, it's just ridiculous. So, I don't know. Leave your comments, leave your rants, leave your venting if you want to. I know everybody's pissed off, and we have a right to be pissed off, honestly. I mean, it's just one ridiculous game after another.